Good morning, dear delegates of Phoenix 2021. Today, we are going to discuss something amazing which is very relevant to current era. I'm sure you may be already gone through the agenda, and the name of today's subject is, sometimes it may be aroused your curiosity. I don't know whether it happened or not. Anyway, let us discuss the name of title. The title is Chameleons of Social Media. You might be wondering why such a title? Chameleons and social media. What chameleon has a duty in social media world? So let us see what is the relevance of these two and how is going to affect we all. I'm sure you might be seeing my uh, desktop, my screen share. So the title itself is very clear: chameleon of social media. What does a chameleon do? Everyone knows. Chameleons have very much specialities within them, and we are going to connect it with our new culture, which is known as living online. So before entering to the chameleon scenario, I just want to guide you to living online scenario. So this is very familiar for us right now. Living online. What does it mean? I will show a few pictures to you, then it will be very much clear to you. So what all? Just go through all those pictures. The first picture is mentioning all sorts of our OTT platforms where we spend most of our daytime, nighttime, and the very much next picture in the top row shows some media kind of thing. Then comes the 3D printing construction area. Then comes most famous pretty gorgeous. We cannot tell she is gorgeous or something like that, but she is Sophia. Everyone knows who is Sophia. Sophia, and the very next one is the next generation data transfer. Instead of Wi-Fi, something new is coming, which is known as Light-Fi, light fidelity, Li-Fi, and online gaming platforms. We are very much familiar with that. And very next one is for you people, it is very important. Why? Because now we are dealing with online consultation, medical consultation. All these things are there, and you see, lot many social media platforms are there. Normally, people say there are more than 192 social media platforms. We will come to that very soon. Okay. Next one, all kind of payment gateways like Phone Pay, Google Pay, Paytm, and the latest one, WhatsApp Pay. And the last one, obviously, all these sort of conferencing platforms like Zoom or whichever may be. In real, our entire this conference should happen physically, but due to circumstances, we are forced to do it in online platform. Just imagine. We were not even known to this Zoom kind of platform 2 years before, or rather before 2020, the beginning of 2020. Right now, we are very much familiar with all these platforms. There are more than 100 online conferencing platforms are available now. So, by that way, if we just focus on that area, just go through it. Everywhere this online kind of scenario is there. Of course, there is a reason. COVID-19 or the novel coronavirus actually made this very fast. We all know that. But apart from that, just go through it. Our everyday agenda. Go to from morning till evening, till night, till bedtime. In each and every activity, there is a touch of online life. We actually forced to change. And psychologists and those who are doing the research in this area actually call it as a VUCA word. I don't know whether you have heard about it or not. VUCA actually came from four different letters, and that letters denotes different characteristics. of the new normal world. The first alphabet, V, stands for volatile. The new online world is unpredictable, rather highly fluctuating, volatile. And U stands for uncertainty. We cannot predict what is going to happen next year, or rather next month, or rather next day, in terms of digital disruption. Everything is quite uncertain. Even if we learn, study something, we cannot predict, like earlier period, that it have a scope in near future or long run. Rather, it is complex. C stands for complexity. We are unaware about the current status sometimes and future. We cannot predict. It's highly complex. And the last one is F stands for ambiguity. Everything together, it is highly ambiguous. So such a world is there. Earlier, it was possible that if we learned something from book, that bookish knowledge will save us always. Right now, it is not possible. Science says that all sort of such crystallized intelligence may not work further. Instead of that, people has to undergo a fluid intelligence kind of thing. We are forced to adapt according to our situation. Everyone has to become a specialist in the relevant field, otherwise there is no go further. So such a VUCA world is there. And in terms of social media, VUCA world cannot stay without the support of social media, or rather, social media is the biggest ingredient of VUCA world. So this kind of social media world, there are more than 192 social media platforms are there in the world. If we take it since the origin of or initiation of 6 degree, and right now the latest entry was there, which is known as Clubhouse. So from 6 degree to Clubhouse, some may appear right now, some may be not there very soon, just like our Orkut. Earlier it was there, right now it is not there. And such 192 plus platforms are there. Just imagine. It's sometimes beyond our thought process, because we may have registered so far maximum up to some 10, 11 platforms. We may be once in a while engaged in some 8, 9 platforms, and we may be hardly using it frequently, say some 5 to 6, and our regular usage will be limited to some 2 to 3 platforms. Sometimes we think that we know everything about the social media. The biggest crime we are doing often, because social media is so much powerful. It actually influences us like anything. It influences our thought process. It influences our purchasing habit. It influences our, what to say, day-to-day affair like anything, from morning till night. And we doesn't know how it leads us, towards which direction it leads us. In that sense, we can say it is a social media created world, and social media platforms controls us. So these two are working together. That is why I have mentioned from 6 degree to Clubhouse. Right now, without seeing face, without seeing any expressions, people are engaged in Clubhouse rooms. I'm sure most of you might be. Everyone like this. We need more like. And of course, I want to grab your attention to one particular thing, statistics. See, globally, especially in European and US countries, youngsters spend almost 11 hours in online. Sometimes it may be due to their lifestyle, or rather, what to say, it may be due to their job nature at this point. And in India, average youngsters spending almost 2 hours 45 minutes per day on social media. Science says that the healthy time is hardly 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And now we deals with a lot many terminologies like mining, data, what to say, data mining or addiction or hoax or whatever maybe, social media maniacs, bullying. Obviously, as a byproduct, there comes a lot many concerns. And let us go through few concerns. You may also go through your experience. Privacy, not many issues in connection with privacy. Whether I have sufficient privacy while using all these social media applications or whichever maybe other areas of online life. Data mining, data harvesting kind of thing. Who uses it? Actually, who collects it? Debatable thing. Then, not many people go and have become addicted, and some kind of thing, cyberbullying or cyber stalking kind of things comes in between. Adolescent issues for youngsters, especially pornography related things, then mental and physical health. Actually, especially our young generation forced to sit in front of all these gadgets, online life, they are forced to. So they are losing so many things behind. Usually there comes the mental and physical struggle. Then this social media kind of thing together, making lot much trouble in communication methods, especially the trust, and it always support the disparity kind of thing. And so there is no that much trust. We cannot trust all these social media platforms and reliability. Whoever can generate social media kind of information, whoever can. Anyone using social media can generate their own post, their own information, they can add it. So ultimately, social media hoax kind of things comes. Not much examples are there. Without thinking twice, people forwarding it to someone else. And above all, the kind of cyber security, hacking kind of things. But one thing I'm sure, or rather you may notice, some of our friends or people whom we familiar with, it behaves differently in social media. Have you noticed it? I have noticed it over my previous experience while dealing with social media kind of scenario. If you cross watch, you will come to understand people behave differently in online. Why? This is where comes chameleon. I call it as a chameleon effect, due to chameleon effect. What is this chameleon effect? You know, chameleon, 98% of chameleon across the globe changes their color to attract their prey, or rather shows it region, or declare that this is my region, don't come, to frighten its enemy, and finally to escape from its opponents. They change their color. Just like the same, each one who uses the social media changes their color. When they meet us face to face, no problem. And the same person changes their color when they appear on social media. This is why I call it as a chameleon effect. Not only this, very keen, people are very keen, just like chameleon, with a telescopic eye, they are observing things. They are mining, digging the privacy of other people. Again, just like chameleon. And they are moving very carefully, just like the walk of a chameleon. Okay, so lot many other facts are there. That is why I call it as a chameleon effect. And psychology, one particular psychologist name as John Schuler, he actually mentioned that there is a particular effect came in the mind of people while using social media, which is known as online disinhibition effect. Online disinhibition effect actually made these people less inhibited. So they get a feel that they are in a dark room where none other can watch them or observe them. So they feel that they are behind the curtain and they can do whatever they want. They get a secret room feel in a kind. This is where I connect chameleon with that, the chameleon effect. Hiding somewhere and attacking others. And this online disinhibition effect actually support them. At some point, it is really good in nature. Most of the time, it leads to all this cyber attack or other kind of bullying kind of thing, all these things. But remember, all this chameleon will not change its color. 2% is still there. That category never changes its color. So very few are keeping their identity in online as well as offline. So this is very important. This is the connection between chameleon and this online kind of behavior. So going further, I just want to take you to a particular area. Which is your online platform, or rather, which is your social media platform? Which all platforms you are using in your day-to-day affair? Is it only WhatsApp or Facebook? I don't know. Youngsters, most of the youngsters are in Instagram or in YouTube. Not many have their own channel. Do you really know the regulations and rules of all these platforms? How they treat you? Or rather, do you know what all benefits you can grab from them? What is in it for me? Or without knowing all these things, just like the common folks, everyone is moving towards this direction. And I'm also supposed to go like that. Only because of that, I don't know. Many of social media users actually walking among the crowd that doesn't know what is the real purpose of these platforms. Because all of these 192 plus platforms are differ in their nature. Some of them are pure networking platforms, just like Facebook. Some of them are some social engagement platform like Insta. Some are self-declaration kind of thing like YouTube. Some of some of them are mere messaging or testing platforms, just like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger or Telegram or Signal. Some of them for professional purpose like LinkedIn. Some of them are for research purpose. Some of them are job related use they have. So which one is actually useful for you? And which all concerns are there in connection with each and every platform? It differs platform to platform. So are you using this platform by with sufficient awareness? If not, all these concerns will be yours. If you doesn't know what is the real purpose and real benefit of these platforms, so many concerns will be there, and it may lead to a particular area which is known as cybercrime. So obviously we have to move to that direction also. What is cybercrime? Social media or whichever online platform, whichever online means used for criminal purpose, then it known as cybercrime. And all this cybercrime belongs to these categories. Online or social media related harassment, just like cyberbullying. Mostly, cyberbullying happens in between minors. That is more severe. And cyber harassment is there between adults. Cyber stalking is there, more serious in nature. Personalized attacks. It may happen through online or any means of online, especially social media. And something known as social media phishing, farming, So sending some email message or some message, it appears to you beneficial, then you click it, it leads to somewhere else. Some hardware and malware kind of thing, correct? It may be in nature of cookies or some ransomware kind of thing. You might have heard about WannaCry, which came in 2017. It is a kind of malware, right? Then some clickjacking kind of thing. If you clicking on some links, it will lead to somewhere else. It will show you some a real kind of thing, trustworthy kind of thing. It may ask you some Facebook password or user ID. You will give it. You will click it. It will lead you somewhere else. Then comes some malicious script scams. Whichever comes along with the message, you will go according to that and enter your gadget will lead to that way. And comes online fraud kind of thing. Lot many are in number. Sometimes you may get a mail, sometimes you may get a message, which will be very trustworthy in nature, but you will be misled. And especially in social media platform, the next one is very important. Identity theft. Where it is very common. Fake IDs, using fake IDs and imitating you, and it gives a feel that it is you. And that fake ID may ask money to you yourself. It happens. It is very common now. And then comes some more severe area which is known as hacking. Entering through some means to your privacy and taking the essentials of you, the private details of you, your money, your system, everything, they will hijack and they will use it for their benefit. There are several kinds of hackers are there. For example, some category known as black hat hackers, some may known as gray hat hackers, and some may known as white hat hackers. Youngsters of some 14, 15-year-old are very much engaged in dark web as well as this hacking kind of thing. And it leads to very severe thing. And they may hack our system, and it may lead to more dangerous situation. All this data breach will make us in trouble, put us in trouble. And obviously, the ultimate thing is cyber terrorism. Not many cases are there in the world. So I just put all this in your mind. This is a vast subject. I'm briefing it for your awareness. The reason is the basic awareness should be there. Okay. This picture is an example. His name is Kevin Mitnick. Kevin Mitnick is an ethical hacker, world's renowned ethical hacker. He's a white hat hacker. By taking his help, many companies finding out the loophole of their internal system. So such ethical hackers are there. Julian Assange or Kevin Mitnick or Albert Gonsalves, then Rahul Tyagi and Pranav Mistry are some famous people in India. Now comes, let's go through this. Just have a look. All these are malware kind of thing. Some Trojan virus, other virus, rootkits, worms, spyware. So lot many are in nature. So we should be aware about some malware or all this cyber attack kind of thing in connection with our day-to-day affair. So from where we get the security. The initial thing, we need to shield up. We need to use sufficient protection kind of thing, like antivirus software or firewall, all these things. Next one is the operating system. The operating system of our gadgets and our PC or whichever laptop, it should be updated. And always practice safe computing. Why we have to go there? What is a security threat? By knowing it, only go further and use strong password. Use strong password because the user management is very, very important. Use some end-to-end encryption oriented thing if possible. For example, every social media platform have some protection kind of thing, and the debatable thing whether WhatsApp is end-to-end encrypted, except the group chatting, everything is end-to-end encrypted. And what about Telegram? What about Signal? Signal is most powerful in that area. All these things, all this data is available there. And if possible, use multi-factor authentication like two-way protection kind of thing. Activate it. And use complicated password. Never use simple password. The reason is in our home, we know that not many doors and windows are there. We know which door should be kept open and which should be kept closed to avoid theft and other malpractices. Like that, in each and every social media platform, there are a number of options. Use it wisely. And before you post anything, think twice. Is it true? Is it helpful for someone? Is it inspiring me or someone else? Or is it necessary? Finally, is it kind? Or is it going to hurt the feeling of someone else? Like this key, some etiquette, some social media etiquette. This is very important. And above all, we should understand there are cyber laws in place. The IT Act 2000, even though the 66A kind of thing abolished, it is strong still. There are provisions in IPC, Indian Penal Code, Section 506, Section 304 and 306, subsections 323, 326. All these are sufficient enough to make things happen. So there are rules, regulations, so don't do anything wrong in this area. So that is very important. And I'm summing up. So to avoid all these things, we have to become better chameleons. For that purpose, few things needed. As I mentioned about, learn thoroughly about your platform. It is the most important thing. Whichever platform you are going to use, downloading, if possible, just go through the key points in the agreement. What all permissions they're really seeking from you. Give permission wisely. Next is follow social media etiquette. Keep some etiquette, just like behaving in any public social area. We need a decorum to keep up or upkeep in social media platforms also. We have our limitations for our freedom. Please try to understand. It doesn't mean like in social media anyone can do anything. Nothing like that. What all freedom we have in our society, the same thing is there, but with rules and regulations. So we have to follow all such things. And keep a control for our screen timing. How much time I'm spending in front of all this screen in a day. Keep a timetable and keep it healthy. Do something very, very seriously. Avoid all inactive forums. Sign out from it. Delete it. Otherwise, someone else may get into the place. Not many fake IDs come like that. And ensure cyber security kind of thing. Finally, one thing, sometimes disconnect yourself from all these gadgets and reconnect directly with people. Personal connectivity should be there. Try to speak to others directly rather than using the social media platform. One of my friends said that right now she formed a WhatsApp group for her husband and kids. Earlier, she used to call them lunch is ready. Right now, she will put a message. Why? Because then only people will come on time. This is our society. So disconnect from this gadget sometimes, application sometimes, and reconnect person to person. Coming up, I'm telling one simple story. It is about two horses. The name of the first horse is Bucephalus. This is the horse of the great Alexander of Macedonia. He got this horse at this young age. It's very difficult to handle that horse. But At his young age, he managed it and used it wisely. That is how he became great Alexander. He conquered lot many countries. The second horse name is Trojan. It actually cheated the citizens of Troy, and some warriors actually hidden its belly. During night time, all of them came out and destroyed the entire city. And we know there is a virus also in the name of Trojan. Social media and online life is just like the same. If we use it wisely, it will lead us to the ultimate success. But if we fail to use it, like, it will destroy us just like the Trojan horse. So, my dear friends, this is all from my side. Only one piece of advice: always be curious to know the social media platform further. Be curious and handle with care. It will help you. So, thank you very much for the wonderful time. And if you have any questions or concerns, you may have all freedom to contact me in this address. My company name is Imbrazone, and imbrazonecoaching at gmail.com. You can reach me. Otherwise, you may able to reach me on this cell number. Thank you very much. See you soon.